Welcome to World Bipolar Day. My name is Scott Walker. I live with bipolar disorder type 1 and have been for 24 years. Thank you for tuning in today. And I'm going over Lift Me Up tools. So these are tools that can potentially help you when you're feeling low, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling mildly depressed. Everything on this list I have used, and some of them you've heard before, some of them will be brand new. I just really encourage you to have an open mind, to be curious, and this will be about 10 minutes long. So the first three that I mention all have creation involved on your part. What that means is that you'll have to create these before you can use them. That being said, these three are really powerful for me, and I'm optimistic they will be worth your time if you choose to create them. The first one is a Lift Me Up digital folder. So what this is are emails, texts, anything digital you've received where someone has said something really good about you. It could be, oh, I'm so thankful for how kind you are. I'm so thankful for how you helped me move the other day, etc., etc. This could be in an email you received from them, or maybe you received a text or message from them. In that case, what I've done is I've copied that text or message. I've emailed that myself with a title, with the person's name and the date. I've emailed myself. Then I've created an email folder called Lift Me Up and put it into the Lift Me Up folder. What I find is extremely powerful about these messages is it's getting you out of your own head. In my case, in those times when I'm feeling low, mildly depressed, my mind is telling me I'm useless, nobody likes me, I'm ugly, whatever the case. Um, and essentially, these are words that people are putting into you without them being there. Also, you could consider when you've had a conversation with someone and someone has told you something about you, uh, to remember your best what they said and to type that in an email to yourself and then put that in the Lift Me Up folder. I've been doing this since 2010, and I'm incredibly fortunate and grateful that I now have over 200 separate messages in my email Lift Me Up folder. And those are all from various people. And when I remember to use it, which I sometimes forget, um, it's powerful. So that is huge. And on that note, I am a work in progress. So even though I have used all these tools, I sometimes forget to use them. Even as I was creating this list for today, I realized that, man, there's some in here I haven't used in a while. So that's the number one, is the Lift Me Up digital folder. Number two is the Lift Me Up physical folder. So these are cards, written notes, letters that you physically receive from people, from certain times in your life, maybe key events in your life, and you put these into a physical file folder and label it Lift Me Up. And then again, when you're feeling down, sad, low, mildly depressed, to look through these physical documents and be reminded of all the good in you and all the amazing things that other people have said about you. The third one is an accomplishment list, and that is a list of accomplishments that you have done. And it can be anything. Um, it could be certain achievements you've received academically, in your career, personally. It could be the amazing way your children are. It can be the amazing house, home, property you've created. It could be the amazing business you've created. Could be many, many, many things. I'm just going to give you a couple examples from my life. And with your accomplishment list, I'd encourage you to start from as young as you can remember and just be unlimited in your memories and your accomplishments. So, I'll give you a few examples from my life. So, when I was in high school, I played a lot of sports, and I was fortunate to win 5 provincial titles in 3 different sports in 2 years. As a high school athlete, I was also nominated for Manitoba Male Athlete of the Year. And I also had a 40-inch or 104 centimeter vertical jump that was from jump training from playing volleyball. So those are a few of mine from earlier in my life. From later in my life, I'm 13 years med free. I'm 12 years alcohol free. So those are a few from my life for accomplishments that I consider worthy of being recognized. So those three, like I say, take time and effort for you to create. That being said, they're incredibly powerful because they're things other people have said about you, and they're things that you have accomplished in your past that show you are worthy and amazing. The next one is kind of outside the box. It's a product. So I purchased a rebounder 2 years ago. A rebounder is a mini trampoline. Anytime I get on that thing, I instantly feel better. Just simply bouncing, I start smiling, I start feeling happier. I seem to have my worries and stress dissolve. I realize that may or not interest you. You may or not have the budget and or the space in your home, but the rebounder is incredible. It's also one of the few things on the planet that exercises every cell in our body, every muscle in our body, bones, builds bone density, and also clears your lymphatic system. So immense amount of health benefits besides the mood enhancing benefits. The next item is to help someone. In my experience, when I've helped someone when I'm feeling low, it gets me out of my own head, my problems, my worries, my stress, and it helps me to feel good. So that could be something physically, maybe helping someone in their yard, shoveling snow, cutting grass. It could be doing a favor for someone. It could be something virtual, maybe of a friend or family member of the business. You go online and leave them an amazing review, or maybe you share about their business or product online. Yeah, just help. And then, of course, if you are someone who volunteers, I know that's more of a planned activity. However, you could consider volunteering because these lift me up tools, these are for moments in time that are sporadic. Um, that being said, if you are someone that volunteers and maybe you work somewhere where you can just drop in and volunteer, like for example, some food banks, you can drop in at any time, maybe you could do that. Or SPCA, maybe just to volunteer and help with the animals. Um, and the next items that I go over, you've heard of probably all or most of them, so I'll go through them fairly quickly. The next one is getting off social media news. Social media, in my experience, leads to a lot of comparison, like, oh wow, look at him, he's so amazing and successful and financially successful, etc. Also, the news is depressing to begin with, so really encourage you get off social media news when you're feeling low and down. Go out for a walk. That is not always easy when you're feeling depressed. Sometimes it's impossible to get out of the house. But I just encourage you to remind yourself how positive and how beneficial it is to get outside, even to go for 30 seconds for a walk around the block to the end of the driveway. Um, and again, if you're someone that's really struggling mentally, that is not easy to do. Reach out for support. So I'm optimistic you have at least one person in your life that you can have open, honest, vulnerable conversations with. And I encourage you to reach out to them and talk and just be honest. Tell them you're feeling low. You'd love to have a chat. And again, for me, that's not always easy to do, even though I'm amazingly fortunate to have incredible support in my life. I have essentially 5 people in my life that are very close. I don't always remember to reach out to them. So that is a male pattern, not to be sexist, but a lot of men struggle with that, and that's something that I have to work on as well. The next one is to clean for 5 minutes. Set a timer for 5 minutes and start cleaning. Now, if you live in a pristine home, I hail to you, all the power to you. Most people I know who struggle with being low or depressed, they tend to have, we'll just say, a non-ideal clean home in general. And I'll say, if you have a clean home, maybe you could declutter for 5 minutes. Chances are there's something you could declutter. But I find after that 5 minutes, when that timer goes off, it's that bit of a dopamine hit. You feel that sense of accomplishment, like, hey, I did this, either cleaning or decluttering for 5 minutes. The next one is to watch a funny movie. That one's pretty obvious. Um, Also, consider listening to uplifting music or energetic audios. I'm a teacher on Insight Timer and have some quantum energetic infused audios that are amazingly powerful for some people. You could also consider putting on some dance music and doing a little dance. I mean, I can do like a butter churn and a sprinkler, that's about it. But when I remember to dance, I always feel better and happier. And the last one is again a little bit outside the box. I'm someone who connects with higher energies a lot through meditation and quantum energetic tools. I recently received a card deck called the Golden Future by Diana Cooper, and the Golden Future Oracle cards are beautifully illustrated, and they literally paint an amazingly inspiring, optimistic view of the world moving forward. So for all these items I mentioned, I will share them in a blog post and put links in there as well if you're interested. Right now my website is down. I'm optimistic it'll be fully resurrected. That being said, I do have a Substack right now. I'll put the link in the video. If you're interested, subscribe to Substack and you'll receive my next post about the Lift Me Up tools and also the Calm My Mind tools, which I talked about earlier today here on World Bipolar Day. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm optimistic there's even one little thing in this video that potentially helps you. If you are able to comment, I'd appreciate it. Let me know what nugget you got, or let me know of other things that help lift your mood when you're feeling down. Also, if there's anyone in your life that struggles with depression, bipolar disorder, consider sharing this video with them. There might be one tiny thing in this short video that helps them. So once again, thank you for tuning in. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and take care.